5 rescued as building collapses in Lagos State. Death toll in Benue attacks hits 56, earlier 6 FG's help. Presidency denies claim Shettima was denied access to Aso Villa. On the foreign scene, just U.S. Supreme Court pauses deportation of Venezuelans from Texas. Good evening, this is News Update on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Rafo. Thank you for joining us. Panic gripped residents of Oremeta Street in Ojudu area of Lagos State on Saturday morning as a two-story building housing the Equal Right restaurant collapsed, trapping several people inside. The incident, which occurred around 9 a.m., reportedly trapped restaurant workers, customers, and families that was at the scene at the time of the collapse. When our correspondent visited the site, the emergency response teams, including the police, Federal Road Safety Corps, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, National Emergency Management Agency, and Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services were seen carrying out rescue operations. Several sympathizers were also at the site. Speaking to journalists at the scene, the Permanent Secretary of LASEMA, Oluwafemi Oke Osayintolu, confirmed that 5 persons had been rescued alive as of the time of this report.
You can't look at any poor person. You can't say it is 10, you can't say it is 20. And that is why we are painstaking in carrying out such a rescue. And that is why we are using light duty equipment, we are using heavy duty equipment, and all the truck and carrier that are important in managing emergency are on the ground. So far, we have rescued 5 alive, and the operation is ongoing. The operation is swift, fast, effective, and efficient, and I can assure you that all what we are doing it under the watch of the security, Mr. Babajide.
Meanwhile, rescue efforts are still ongoing. We go to Benue State, where the governor, Hyacinth earlier, has appealed to the federal government to step up and deal with rising insecurity in the state as a death toll from the recent attacks by suspected herdsmen on Ukum and local government areas in the state hits 56. The governor made the call on Saturday when he visited the scenes of attacks by suspected herdsmen in Ukum and local government areas to ascertain the impact of the attacks. Addressing journalists after the visit to the affected communities in the 2 local government areas, earlier condemned the violent attacks on defenseless people and called for greater action from security agencies to nip the killings in the bud. The governors used the visit to engage with community leaders and their people, whom he assured of a better deal in addressing all forms of insecurity. He also called for calm and urged the people to resist the will to resort to self-help. Security has also been beefed up in the Sankera axis, where these attacks happened, to restore confidence, while emergency services and relief items have been extended to the 2 local government areas. To the security matters, the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badru, on Saturday visited communities that were recently attacked by gunmen in Basa local government area of Plateau State. Speaking during the visit, the minister, who commiserated with the families of those who lost their loved ones, expressed the government's commitment to the safety of lives and property. Badru further said that the government would engage all stakeholders in the affected communities towards curbing the cycle of killings in the state. Earlier, the Aku Brangwe of Irigwe Chiefdom, Reverend Rankawu, thanked the minister for the visit and commended the federal and state government for prompt response to the incident. Aku decried incessant attacks and destruction of properties in the chiefdom, called on government and security agencies to intensify efforts to end the violence. Badu was accompanied on the visit by Dr. Nentawi Yowatda, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, senior military personnel, and other government officials. The presidency has insisted that the Vice President Kashim Shettima and his principal, President Bola Tinubu, are in good terms, stressing that both politicians share an unbreakable bond. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Gwacha, in a statement debunked speculations on Saturday morning, saying such insinuations exist only in the imagination of mischief makers. He said there have been recent insinuations that the Vice President is being denied access into the presidential villa by the securities personnel in the State House, a development he dismissed as totally untrue. He described the rumor as a deliberate and well-planned orchestration of falsehood against the Vice President's person and office in many multi-dimensional forms. The Nigerian police force says it has completed the extradition of Benjamin Best Nyerugo, widely known as Killer Boy, from Doha, Qatar to Nigeria. Killer Boy, who had been on the run for the murder of Augusta Onwuagu, returned to the country in the early hours of Saturday through the coordinated efforts of the Ministry of Justice, Interpol, National Central Bureau, NCB, the Nigerian Police Force Headquarters, Abuja, and the Katuri Judicial Authorities. The extradition followed the petition from the family of the deceased, submitted through their legal representatives, dated 29 September 2024. A statement by Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adijobi said the matter was assigned to Interpol NCB Abuja, after which investigations revealed that the suspect murdered Augusta, a 21-year-old first-class student of Leeds City University, Bado, in his residence located at number 24A Abiola Akpoyi Street, Oral Estate, Ajah, Lagos, on 13th July 2023. After committing the crime, he fled Nigeria and later released an online video purporting to confess to the act, a deceptive strategy to derail investigative efforts. After being declared wanted by the NPF Lagos State Criminal Investigation Department on 13th October 2023, an Interpol red notice was issued for his global apprehension. The Lagos State Police Command has said that the 18-year-old boy Alabi Quadri, who became known during the 2023 presidential election for standing in front of Labour Party candidate Peter Obi's convoy, was arrested and remanded in a correctional facility for street fighting. This was disclosed in a statement on its X handle signed by the command's Public Relations Officer CSP Benjamin Hundeyin on Saturday. The police explained that Quadri was arrested and charged to court after being linked to a violent street fight in the Amukoko area of Lagos earlier this year. The police clarification comes after Alabi was freed on Thursday by magistrate court in Apapa following legal advice from the Lagos State Director of Public Prosecutions, which said it found no evidence to support the armed robbery charge against him. His lawyer, Inibehe Efyong, said Alabi's arrest and detention were part of a diabolical frame-up by two local thugs known in the Amukoko area as Lege and Baba Waris. The biting economic inflation in Nigeria has made basic sustenance a struggle, let alone affording extra help. Consequently, the cost of hiring a housemaid has surged, posing a significant challenge for families, particularly those with multiple children, in finding trustworthy and affordable domestic assistance. Compounding this issue is the heightened insecurity nationwide and reports of mistreatment and abuse, leading many parents, especially mothers, to hesitate in sending their daughters to work as housemaids. Victoria Chokolo spoke with Lagos residents to delve deeper into the implications of the high cost of hiring domestic help. Her report is presented from our studio.
Currently, the Nigerian government encourages the hiring of housemaids, a sentiment echoed by many citizens who question the practice altogether. The primary concerns revolve around families having limited or no knowledge of the backgrounds and character of the housemates they employ. Some Lagos residents believe that hiring a housemaid can introduce unwelcome and disruptive elements into the home. They metaphorically describe it as inviting a foreign influence that could potentially breed conflicts, misunderstanding, and even division within the family units. Speaking on the escalating cost of hiring housemaids, numerous Nigerians are urging the government to prioritize creation of more employment opportunities. They contend that while no parent genuinely desire their child to become a housemaid, the prevailing economic hardship often leaves them with few alternatives.
I have seen so many people hiring housemaids that will come and maltreat the children under them. Even some of them will eventually marry the husband of their elder. So I don't advise anybody to hire a housemaid for his children.
Your relationship with that housemaid, if you are bad to them, then they will return it to your child. It's vice versa. So the best thing is that anybody that are hiring them should be of a good behavior.
Nobody will be happy to difference their child to somebody for maltreat or for any other thing. But when you have frustration of living or frustration of or many other frustrations that there are many, that is why you see many people they are giving their children. I mean, they left their children to the housemaid or any other thing.
Across Africa, a growing skepticism surrounds parents entrusting their children to work as housemaids. Deepening these concerns are widespread reports of unscrupulous agents exploiting vulnerable children, particularly girls, leading to abuses such as child trafficking and in some instances, forced prostitution. This disturbing trend have spurred the government to adopt a more proactive stance against the unregulated hiring of housemaids. As a result, many are of the opinion that housemaid should strictly adhere to the domestic duties for which they were hired. They called for stringent actions against anyone found guilty of exploiting housemaid for trafficking, prostitution, or any form of abuse within the country.
Yes, that the new housemaid that you hire, they work for you, you feed them, that's no problem. They listen to you, you can get them directly that time, you can get them directly or through an agent too. But this agent thing has been for long. But in the past, they used to be honest. But now it's not the same again.
Where they go SS3, where na university they go, where na poly, if they come work there, they no go do as gay. But using the children as a not a prostitute. So those people who took them to that place for prostitute, they should prosecute them. Someone for housemaid, it should be used for what you hired the person for, not actually for trafficking or slavery or something. Nigeria has gone past the age of slavery.
While no one aspires to be a housemaid, the prevailing economic realities in the country are forcing many to take on such roles as a means of survival.
To more stories. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB, has announced April 24, 2025 as the new date for the commencement of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME nationwide. The update was made known in an official statement signed by Fabian Benjamin, the Public Communications Advisor to JAMB, on Saturday. The examination was originally scheduled to begin on Friday, April 25th, but was moved forward due to what the board described as essential commitments by the board and its partner agencies. As part of preparations, JAMB has opened its portal for candidates to print the examination notification slips. The notification slips contain vital information, including examination dates, venue, center, and time. To print the slip, students are advised to visit www.jamb.gov.ng, click on 2025 UTME slip printing, enter the registration number, and click on print examination slip. The board advised all candidates to print their slips and familiarize themselves with the location of their centers before the date of the examination to help ease any last-minute confusion or delays on the exam day. Volunteer teachers play a crucial role in Nigerian communities, contributing to education by bridging gaps in government schools and providing support to marginalized communities. They are often sought after by organizations and schools facing teacher shortages, and they can make a significant impact in the lives of children. Trustee with the Demo Imam tells us more.
The role of volunteer teachers in Nigerian public schools cannot be overemphasized, filling a crucial gap in schools facing teacher shortage or in areas with limited access to quality education. Some volunteer teachers in Bauchi State urge government to recruit them into the civil service in the state.
Today
We are reminding the state government of his recent promise to give volunteers a chance to be employed as teachers in the states. Some people are coming through the back door hoping to be employed, while we who are already doing the work are watching. Let the state governor consider us.
Since from primary section to junior section, we are helping the student. Our participation, we have a lot of problems. We don't have any helping from others, anything like pencil, textbook, exercise book that we write in our lesson plan.
Now I'm primary one. Since I started this volunteer almost 10 years ago. One wife and 6 children. And I was survivor with this for the school volunteers.
Malam Muhammad Abdullahi, a parent, and other senior teachers share their perspectives on the need to enhance community engagement by building bridges between communities and educational institutions.
The major challenges with volunteer teachers is transportation. We occasionally appreciate their efforts, but sometimes they find it difficult to get to school from far distance. Despite their commitments, they are yet to be employed by the state governments.
Most of them are coming in for some of our permanent teachers. We actually appreciate their efforts and we want the government to assist them. Actually, if the government wish to give appointment letters to, if they really want to appoint teachers, they have to start with the government teachers. Actually, they are helping us in many ways in this country because we involve them in all our activities.
The teachers said volunteering can be a valuable way to gain teaching experience and build professional skills while contributing to the overall development of communities. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In a major step towards driving economic growth, the Kogi state government has secured a landmark partnership with Hunan Province, China, aimed at enhancing development across key sectors, including agriculture, mining, and industrialization. The collaboration, formalized during a high-level visit by Governor Ahmed Ododo and his delegation to China, is set to position Kogi as a prime investment destination in Nigeria. Speaking to journalists in Lokoja, Kogi State's Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fong, described the governor's trip as a masterstroke that will change the investment narrative of Kogi State. He emphasized that the partnership with Hunan Province will boost the state's agricultural and solid minerals sectors while attracting foreign investments and advancing collaboration towards the realization of the Ajaokuta Industrial Park. According to the Commissioner, the agreement signed by Governor Dodo and Governor Mao Weining of Hunan Province focused on the development of an industrial park in Ajaokuta, Kogi State. This industrial park is expected to serve as a special economic zone, creating opportunities for both local and international investors. In the foreign scene, the United States Supreme Court on Saturday paused the Trump administration's deportation of alleged Venezuelan gang members under 18th century law. U.S. President Donald Trump invoked the 1798 Alien Enemies Act last month to begin rounding up Venezuelan migrants accused of belonging to the Tren de Aragua gang before expelling them to a maximum security prison in El Salvador. The obscure law has only previously been used during the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. The order came after rights lawyers filed an emergency appeal to halt the deportation of migrants currently held in a facility in the southern state of Texas. The American Civil Liberties Union said in its emergency filing on Friday night that the group of Venezuelans held in Texas had been told they will be imminently removed under the AEA as soon as tonight. Attorneys for several of the Venezuelans previously deported had said their clients were not members of Tren de Aragua, had committed no crimes, and were targeted largely on the basis of their tattoos. And the sports in Nigeria's favor, Philly opened up her season at the Tom Jones Invitational in Florida, clocking a time of 22:34 seconds to finish second. She finished behind Olympic Unlimited champion Julian Alfredo around a fast 21:88 seconds to open up, while Tamara Davis was third in 22:37 seconds. Also, another Nigerian in the race, Rashidat Adeleke, finished fifth, clocking 32:57 seconds in the two-day Invitational outdoor event. Back here in Nigeria, the Nigerian Women Football League (NWFL) has imposed a 1 million naira fine on Heartland Queens Football Club following an assault on March officials during their premiership match against Remo Stars Ladies on April 16, 2025 at the Dan Anyam Stadium in Owerri, Imo State. In a statement on Friday, April 18th, the NWFL condemned the actions of both officials and supporters of the club, describing the assault as a serious offense against the principles of fair play and respect for match officials. The chief operating officer of the NWFL, Modupe Shabi, stated that its decision followed a thorough review of the match officials' report and investigation, which confirmed the unruly behavior of individuals associated with the club. Citing Article 26.1 of its regulations, the NWFL COO emphasized that any player or official who assaults a match official or any other person in the course of a match through physical, verbal, intimidation, or form of body language that are deemed offensive or against match officials are liable to a fine of 1 million naira and possible banishment. The league body also warned that such offences could attract the ban of up to 1 year on the venue where the assault took place. The NWFL urged Heartland Queens to educate their officials and supporters on the importance of fair play and respect for match officials, noting that the sanction is intended to serve as a deterrent to future misconduct. That concludes news updates at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. And Chiamaka Nwafo, thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.